Hey there, knitters. It's Leslie back here with YYC Knits. You can find us at yycknits.com. All of our hand-dyed yarns and fibers can be found on our website. We're an indie dyer, and I am also a knitwear designer. So this is my first little foray into knitwear design, and we're just reviewing our stripes, the hat, and we've got a neat little brioche ribbing, which we're going to explain to you how we work. Okay, so what I've done is I've done my provisional cast on. So it's a little fussy in the beginning, but we're going to we've got our last video on that, so you can check that out. So we've just cast on our stitches onto a crochet chain. We've worked 5 rows or 5 rounds of knit stitch. Sorry, before we joined this round, we did a jogless join in the round, so that's in the same video, and I will put a link to that on Stripes, the hat, our knitting pattern that's available on Ravelry. You can find that under YYC Knits as well. So we've done a jogless join in the round, we've knit 5 rounds, we've purled 1 round, and then right before we begin our brioche setup round, it was suggested by one of my test knitters that we do a knit round. She had seen it on my project page and just said that it looks quite neat and tidy, and that that was one of her suggestions. So we're going to go with that. So we've done the knit 5 rounds, the purl 1 round, the knit 1 round, which we've added into our pattern edit. And so continuing on with our main color, we're going to do our brioche setup round. And this is probably the hardest round personally for me, just because it's the setup round and you can't really see what's happening until you know, you get into it a little bit. But so just continuing on with our main color, we're just going to do round 1 setup round, which consists of a knit 1, a yarn over, and a slip 1 purlwise. And we're just repeating that from the start around. I'll see if I can get that put up on the page. So our brioche setup round again is a knit 1, a yarn over, and a slip 1 purlwise, and then just repeating that all the way around. So we've reached our marker here. We've just finished our purl round and our knit round, and so we're going to start by doing our knit 1, then a yarn over, and a slip 1 purlwise. So knit 1, yarn over, slip 1. So we're knitting 1 with the yarn in the front. Knit 1, yarn over, slip 1. Knit 1, yarn over, slip 1 purlwise. Knit 1, yarn over, slip 1 purlwise. Oops, we've got our knit 1, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, yarn over. So it's if we want to look and make sure that we haven't made a mistake, we've started with a knit 1, and our yarn over slip 1 is going to look like this here. So you've got like 2 stitches on the needle there. So a single stitch and then the double, the yarn over knit one, slip one. So we've got the knit one, and then the yarn over slip one is this funky looking deal here. So a knit one, yarn over slip one, knit one, yarn over slip one. So we've got a single and a double and a single, and so yes, I did mess up here. So here is where we've got a knit one and then another knit one. Okay, so this is actually good practice. So I knew that while I was trying to talk and knit at the same time and think, we're just going to completely do what we did in reverse. So we're going to go into that stitch. This is actually great practice. Pull that out. This was our slip one purlwise. This was our yarn over. This was our knit one. Slip that purlwise, yarn over. Okay, so here we are here with our knit one as well together. So let's just check back from the beginning. So we've got our stitch marker, we've done our knit one, and then we've got that funky looking 2 stitches together. So that's our slip one yarn over. So we've got our knit one and our slip one yarn over. We've got our knit one and our slip one yarn over. Our knit one, slip one yarn over, knit one, slip one yarn over, knit one, slip one yarn over, knit one. Okay, I should have been saying yarn over slip one, because after we've done our knit one, we do a yarn over slip one. So with our yarn in front, we're going to knit one, yarn over, slip one, knit one, yarn over, slip one, knit one, yarn over, slip one. So I'm just going to pause it and continue on to the end of the round. Okay, so here we are at our last 3 stitches in the round, and just continuing on, we've just done here's our yarn over slip one, and so we've done our knit one. We need to do another yarn over, yarn over, slip one, knit one, yarn over, slip one. Okay, so this slip one, we're going to want to put this yarn just in the back, because this is our yarn over slip one, This is our knit one. This is going to be our 2 stitches together, like our yarn over slip one. So we're just going to kind of tack that in the back and slide our marker over to the other side, and we'll just put this ball through here. There we go. So we've got our one color. So we're going to now bring in our second color. So I've got a contrasting pink color here, so we're just going to come in with that. And now that we've done our setup round, we are going to start our round 2. And our round 2 states in the pattern, starting with your contrasting color, bring the yarn in front to create a yarn over. Okay, so we're gonna bring our yarn to the front. Okay, so we're just starting with our end here. We're going to bring it to the front. Okay, there we go. And so we've got our yarn in the front, so it's going to resemble a yarn over that very first stitch, because our first stitch on the first round is our knit one, so we want our yarn over slip one to be first here. So we're going to slip one. Okay, so we're going to slip one with our yarn in the front. So sorry, I'll try and stay in the view of the camera. So we're going to slip that one. Now we've got yarn over brioche purl. Okay, so to do a yarn over brioche purl, we're going to bring our yarn around our needle to the front, and we've got these 2 stitches, so that's actually going to be our brioche purl stitch. So we're going to brioche purl the yarn over slip one from the previous round. So it's almost like purl 2 together, but it's called a BRP or a brioche purl. So we're going to purl those 2 stitches together. Okay. We have our yarn in the front already. Okay, so we're going to leave our yarn in the front. And we're going to slip one, and we're going to brioche purl. So in order to do that, we're actually going to go around our needle and purl those together. So slip one, because our yarn's in the front already, we're going to slip one, and to do that purl, we're going to go around our needle and purl those 2 stitches together. So slip one, around, purl those 2 together. Slip one, around, purl those 2 together. Slip one, around, purl those 2 together. Slip one, around our needle, and purl those 2 together. So with our yarn in front, slip one, go around our needle, and purl those 2 together. And that's how we're going to do that one. So now what you can see here is you've got every second stitch is the slip stitch yarn over, and every other stitch is our purl stitch. Purl, the yarn over, the purl stitch on its own, the yarn over, together, purl. Okay, so we're going to continue in this manner with our yarn in the front. So this is as hard as it gets. So yeah, the only thing to remember is when we finish doing that brioche purl, our yarn will be in the front already, so we can go ahead and slip that stitch. But the most important thing here is that we need to bring our yarn around to the front again in order to do that brioche purl. So you slip, bring your yarn around the needle, and you can do that brioche purl. Hoping that you can get a clear view of what I'm doing, that my hands aren't in the way. Before you make any comments on videos, guys, just try and make a YouTube video on how to teach certain knitting technique, because let me tell you, it's not easy. It looks easy, but it's really not. So you'll get the hang of this. It really quite flows, and it's so fun and enjoyable to do. So don't be scared. It's actually quite fun once you get the hang of it. So we're gonna slip that one. Brioche purl. So when you see the little lonely guy on his own, he's going to be the guy that you're just going to slip. When you see the 2 stitches, that's either going to be a brioche purl or a brioche knit. And once you get a couple rows done, you'll be able to tell by looking whether it's a knit stitch or a purl stitch. So like I said, the hardest part is just that setup row. It's the only thing that's out of the ordinary. And if you want to go back and look and check your work, just make sure that we've got a single purl stitch, and then that slip yarn over, and a single stitch and the slip yarn over, and the single stitch and the slip yarn over. So you can go back right from the beginning and check your work and make sure that you haven't made a mistake all the way, and just continue on your way. So here we are here. We've got our, we've just done our purl, so we've got our yarn in the front. So, and this stitch we know here is the single stitch, so we're going to slip it, bring that yarn to the front, and purl. Slip, yarn around to the front, and purl. So I'll just pause the video, continue to my marker, and come back. Okay, so you can see where I'm at here. I've got, I'm just down to my last 2 stitches. My yarn is in the front, so I'm going to slip that singular stitch there. Okay, just as is, bring my yarn around to the front, and where those 2 stitches, this thread is just kind of hanging out on its own, but make sure that that kind of crosses around. That's where I mentioned there at the end of the last row, and you're going to want to brioche purl those 2 together. That's your last stitch before your marker, and we're going to put our yarn to the back there, and we're just going to let that hang out there just like so. We're going to slide our marker to the next needle, and I'm just going to pause it here and continue on in shortly.